You guys ready?
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 2023-2024 River Falls Wildcat Coaches Show. Put your hands together. Give these guys We have our special guests tonight, head coach Zach Campbell, junior Preston Johnson, senior Hayden Bottleson, and senior Joey Butts. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Yeah, there you go. I'm glad you guys are able to read the applause sign up top. You guys you're trained in on that. That's all well and good. Hey, before we get going, a couple thank yous tonight. First of all, I want to thank Chris Larson for running the cameras and doing the production over here tonight. Thank you, Chris Larson, for taking the time on a Sunday night. Also, Fred Barr for opening up his establishment tonight. Yeah, little did River Falls know this was the best special in town. Cheaper than a Subway sandwich. You could have got one of these Charlie Cat chicken fries and a soft drink. That's a pretty good deal there, Fred. So anyway, thank you, Tarnation Tavern. Well, let's just get right into this thing. 2023-2024, head coach Zach Campbell. Zach, can you believe this is your 11th year?
No. Just even thinking about it, we were just talking before the show, like 11, that seems like it kind of flies by.
Right, doesn't it? So 11 years here. So I was trying to think back. I've been here since March of 2013, and I was trying to remember if there was a coach I knew before you. I don't think so. I think you've been coaching the whole time I was here.
2013 is my first year.
Yeah, so there. That explains why I couldn't remember when he started, but it was the same year I showed up in River Falls, so 11 years. It does go fast, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Entire decade. You guys are just pups 11 years ago. It's crazy. So 11 years. Here we are, 2023, 2024. We made it through COVID. That's all behind us now. Kind of a distant memory. Last year, you kind of get back into full swing. A little bit of a rebuilding year. You lost some key seniors the year before. This year, you've got some key players back. Coach, last year you were 15-10 overall, finished in the middle of the pack of the Big Rivers Conference. Early season practices, first game coming up. Talk to us a little bit about what you're looking for this year, Coach.
Sure. Every team dynamic acts a little bit different, and you always look at who you bring back and who you don't bring back, but so much of that is how much of the guys that come back are able to gel with the guys, lead the people that are new, and trying to figure out the dynamics that come with being a varsity basketball player. So as much as it looks nice to have people who have had a lot of experience back, it's about how the whole team comes together. In early season, I've really loved the energy that the guys have had, the way that people listen to each other in practice. It's actually one of the things that we had leaving practice today, and we talked about appreciation, and when guys speak, people listen. They don't put their head down in practice, and so how guys come together is it's a special part, and it's why I've continued, like you said, last 11 years. It's to see the relationships that they have and the difficulties that they endure to be able to have this.
Yeah, about relationships. I want to go there, but I'm going to have Chris turn down his. I hear some audio over there, Chris, on your phone. See? It's called broadcasting verite, right? We just got to always clean it up a little bit there. So he's monitoring the comments coming in. So culture. I mean, this is why you coach. I mean, you love basketball. You're good at basketball. You motivate these kids. But, you know, here you are, a husband and a father, a coach. There's things more important than basketball, and you're developing this culture to train young men. Talk to us a little bit about the cultures that you try to create here in River Falls basketball.
Sure. With our guys, it starts with care. And if you have care, so many other things, the buzzwords you can throw out with respect and work ethic and all about those things, they all follow along. But if you care about what you're doing, you care about the people that you're with doing it, then everything else tends to follow in line. And you brought up the family piece, and that's the same discussion that we have in our house too. Is if you care about each other, you care about something, then you're going to go that extra mile, and you're going to do those extra things that go with it. And so, well, culture is a great word, and it's what we try to build. There's a ton of difficulties that go into a season. There's a ton of emotion and difficult decisions that go into it, a ton of work ethic that goes into it. But ultimately, if you bought into each other and you care for each other, it doesn't make it so difficult to go do all of those things.
Right, and I just want to go back. You know, you talked about your family. So you guys don't even know. You're 17. You're like in the middle of this. 16, 17? Anybody 18 17. Yet? There you go. 16, 17, 18. So late teen years. You're in the middle of it. You might sense what's going on right now, but there's some really important things going on by playing sport. Coach mentioned family and coming together as a family. There's also a thing called give and take in family. Everybody is not always on the winning end of every decision in a family. Coach's wife is home with the kids tonight. She's doing her end of the deal so he can come down and take care of you guys tonight. So when you have family, there's always give and take in families, and it's not always fair, right? But together, you can be great. So maybe it's time for you to, I just kind of set you up to say something about your wife.
Yeah, you did. Obviously, we have four younger kids at home, and what we do, and we have these discussions all the time. And my wife does a phenomenal job in leading our culture at home, so I can get away and do these things. Today we had practice before this. We actually took the kids out last night and overnight to do something, but this day revolved around basketball for our family, and that we had to get up this morning to get back, so then we can get to practice like we had before this, and then have this. I'm hoping maybe I'll have supper at home when I get home. Otherwise, I'll be making myself supper.
Microwave?
Yeah, maybe something tonight. Or I'll be eating here. Yeah, thanks. But yeah, she goes above and beyond in all situations, and we got a couple of our kids in traveling sports, and so she understands this. This is a service that we both enjoy, and being a part of it. And it's not about me. It's not about my wife. Just like we tell these guys, it's not about them. It's about us, and it's a decision that we make together in doing this, and I value time with these guys, and she acknowledges that, so I'm grateful that she gives us this opportunity.
Yeah, that's good. So maybe you guys don't even see that in Coach, but hopefully it's rubbing off on you, because in your team, it's not fair. Some people do more than others. Some people get more praise than others. Some people have to do the grunt work and work harder to be better. Some people have to give to get. But that's all being part of a team. And I was going to get into this a little bit later, but because this team thing is so important and the life lessons are so important, you know, as we go through our lives and you go to college and you get a job someday, everything you're learning today is going to make your life that much better someday. You don't even know what I'm talking about right now, most likely, but someday when you're 35 years old, you're going to think back to that night when it's like, oh, I get it now, the team thing. When you get to a job and you work at the bank or you work, you know, at Tarnation Tavern, if you're not a team member, if you don't know how to do team like you're doing team now, you won't be successful. So you're learning all of life lessons in this thing Coach is facilitating, all life lessons wrapped up in a thing called basketball, high school basketball. It's pretty cool. So you're learning a lot of really good things, how to get better, how to win, how to lose, how to get through adversity. You had some adversity last year. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But that's all part of the culture I believe Coach is setting up for you guys. And it's going to be fun to see you in 10, 15 years. I'm sure you got players come back to you and talk about their experiences that they didn't probably realize at the time either. Is that true?
Yeah, some of my closest relationships now are some with the players that we have. Today alone, I probably have messaged 3 of them, just having some sort of conversation about something going on in their lives, and so it's rewarding to see it all come full circle.
You're in a cool situation. You're going to learn a lot. Soak it in. Listen. Take the coach's advice. Win some basketball games, so maybe you can even play basketball beyond high school. That would really be cool. That'd be a bonus for anybody. So let's go back to the season. I'm going to get to you guys. I see you getting a little antsy over here, but you just be ready. Clear your mind because I'm coming your way. I'm coming in hot. Coach, what do you see so far, first week and a half of practice? Is it early?
It's early. Yeah, it's very early. I think in what you've seen from us over the years, it usually takes till about January till you get to where you want and you really try to catch your stride. For us, it's very typical, and I think these guys will attest to that offense is overspeed for us right now. If I'm being honest, though, and with having so many guys back, in terms of what we have in terms of our stuff, we're well ahead of schedule where we usually are offensively. But I can also say these guys will probably attest that defensively that probably falls on the flip side of things. We are definitely behind on things defensively and have a whole lot of work to do, but that's not uncommon for this point in the year. And we talk about we're just going to keep grinding, keep working on fundamentals, and we'll have some difficult times, no doubt. But by January, our goal is to be hit this thing running forward.
Sure. So the last few years, we have seen La Crosse Central, first game out of the chute. Is that on purpose, Coach? You schedule that really good program early? Is that your doing, or is that just the way the cookie crumbles?
No, thankfully I have full control over our schedule. So knowing Coach Fergutt well, we really try to grab them early on in the year and see a team that really speeds us up to hopefully slow down the game as we move forward with things. And he runs just a phenomenal
per game on the average, leading scorer. What have you done in the offseason, Joey, to help your game?
I think just in general expanding my game. I was known as mostly just a shooter, maybe off the bounce, but I've really tried to get inside, try to find my shot, and also like getting the game open for others as well, looking to play make and get other guys open looks.
So your game has changed a little bit? Is that what I'm hearing you say, or a different focus? Or
I'd like to think it's changed a little bit. I try to grow every summer, obviously, but I've tried to get better and try to help the team.
Yeah, very good. Preston, 15 games last year. You were out for 10 games. Talk to us a little bit about your injury and then coming back late in the season.
Yeah, so I went out about halfway through the season last year. I had to take a role on the team for like being a leader because we had other guys that had to step up and I had to help other guys. Like a new point guard going in, I had to teach them what I learned last year. And then over the off season, it was starting with healing my ankle and then working on things that I needed to work on, especially like shooting. I was a decent distributor last year, but just getting better, more athletic, and working on everything.
So coming out of football season, you feel like you come out of that pretty healthy?
Yeah, it's kind of weird because like football, you'd think like more physical, get hurt, but I've been pretty healthy throughout that last few years. And then basketball, I mean, I got hurt last year, but.
Right. So I sit up in the football booth with your dad and we say, yeah, you're making way too many tackles back there at safety. Guys getting to that third level. You hold your breath every time. But no, it's good to hear that you came out of football season healthy.
Yep.
So that's good. How do you feel today? You feel healthy?
I feel
good?
Yeah, perfect.
Good. H-Bot. Who calls? I mean, who calls? Is that your nickname? Did I just pick that up from somewhere or what? Talk to me about that.
A lot of like the younger like kids grade below me, they call me H-Bot. I don't know. It just kind of stuck. Kids started calling me that. It was shorter. People don't know how to pronounce the last name, so kind of stuck.
It's pithy. It's like H-Bot. You know, it just sounds good, like down in the post. So talk to us. You got the mic now. Talk to us a little bit about your game and how you see yourself contributing more this year than last year. Which, boy, when you were in the game, though, you were a factor in that game last year. Talk to us a little bit about what you've done in the last 10 months to get your game better and how you're going to contribute this year to this basketball team.
Just working, like evolving my game, making sure when I'm playing good, keep it at a level that I can maintain. Don't get too high, don't get too low. Working on just stuff like having a base when I'm playing, just not getting ran off spots, getting stronger, obviously, in the off season. Just making sure that I'm not oversped when I'm on the court, and just playing winning basketball when I'm out there and helping the team, whatever role that has to be.
Do you think your strength is down low, 10-foot jumper? You're going to throw down some threes again this year? You're not afraid to shoot the long ball. Talk to us about where you see yourself contributing this year. All three aspects of the game, or do you want the ball up top and shoot the rock?
I'd say in and out. If I got a smaller guard on me, I feel like I can take advantage in the post, but I feel like I can expand the floor, and just in and out, whatever they give me, I guess.
Do you consider yourself a physical player? You've kind of got the size. Are you the big guy in the team this year?
Well, we got Eli, so no. But I'd say I'm physical. I'm not afraid of getting in, drawing charges, getting in the right spots. So I mean, I'll absorb contact. That's for sure. I'm not gonna shy away from it.
Oh, good. So, Coach, we talked a little bit about culture already. And I want to hear a little bit more about some energy-giving behaviors. I'm sure you guys have talked about that as a team. Any one of you can go right now. Talk to me about energy-giving behaviors and maybe some examples of what that might be in your locker room and on the court.
So, unfortunately, one of our players, Tino, was injured and he can't play for us this year. But he's been a guy that's kind of tracked our EGBs. And
so right there, he throws out the acronym. He can get into the corporate world. Did you hear that? EGB. Throw down the EGB, energy-giving behaviors. Go.
But yeah, Tino's kind of our guy who just tracks those, and they can range from anywhere from like a high five, a pat on the back, or just vocalize saying good job and saying their name. And we make a good point because the more EGBs we have relatively, the more successful we are. Because when we tend to play with more energy, we tend to play better basketball. So it's a big deal to us.
How does gossip and cliques work in your program?
We don't really have much.
That
of
was the
those.
right answer.
Yeah, we're a pretty tight knit group. We've got some good camaraderie, and everybody likes everybody. So
Good. I think you'll get. It's amazing too because I know coaches coach teams maybe with not superstars on them. Some other athletes have played on teams like that. Sometimes these average teams that have good chemistry, good culture, can win more games than a team with a star or two on that team. So culture is important. Depending on each other is important. And being aware of that is also important. It's never good when you have a superstar who wants to get dressed by himself. And I mean, you'll think you rely on that person, but then when it's gut check time, sometimes you just don't have that same chemistry that you can get when you're conscious of it and conscientious of it. Mercy possessions. What is a mercy possession? Preston, go.
It's a new thing that we have a new coach, Coach Jersa. He's been around all the country. He's a college coach. He had this thing called mercy possession. It's when you get 2 stops and if the third possession is the mercy possession. So it's like he yells mercy on the third possession. If we get that stop, everybody just starts going crazy. Bench gets super loud.
You gonna get the student section in on that or what?
We could.
Hey, there's something
Then
for
we
you.
get
So
chants going and stuff.
right.
Yeah.
So maybe there's something we got out of tonight, right? The mercy possession, 2 stops in a row, third one, boom, light it up.
And we got mercy 1 for the 4th possession, mercy 2 for the 5th. So it just keeps going.
Yeah, I've been on the opposite end of the mercy rule, I think, a few times. Okay, let the clock run. We're good. These guys have had enough. So that's good. So I didn't know about mercy possession. So that's interesting. And that's good to know. I think if I were you guys, I'd get that out there to kind of get you guys a little jazzed up on the court.
Yeah.
You get a couple stops, go for that third stop, crank up the defense, get it loud in the gym. That's outstanding. That's outstanding. Coach, you want to add anything to any of those at all? Either mercy possessions, your energy-giving behaviors that you like to see and that you're showing.
Yeah, I think this is a good time to segue in that this is such the amount of work that goes into this, and I want to be sure people understand that a lot of it doesn't fall on my shoulders. We have a whole lot of quality people that take care of things, whether that's Coach Turpin and Coach Jersa with doing multiple things with our varsity. Our lower level coaches have been in every single day as well and have roles with our varsity, or whether we have Carter Kirk with our ETS program, or it's Tina in our training room. Like there's a whole lot of hands that go involved with this. David Crail within leading everything. So in specific to those, the EGBs thing are things that we recognize but maybe haven't had the ability to track. But now that we have more manpower, we can really do that. And I'll give actually a shout out to volleyball. Like for whatever reason, volleyball has this figured out to a T, the EGB part. When you ever watch volleyball teams play or solid volleyball teams play, like they're so good with EGBs. And it's very much a part of basketball as well, but you don't see it quite as often or maybe quite at the level that you see volleyball. It's a place that we're trying to get to with that. And we talk about mercy possessions. Actually, there's a college statistic last year, and it's kind of led me to lead with that. A team that had, I believe it was five mercy possessions in a game won 90% of their games. If you're able to have 5 different series in a game that you can get 3 consecutive stops, you win 90% of your games. And then there's numbers with all of those. So for us, it's an important part of breaking those things down and being able to have tangible numbers that we can show what gives us a better opportunity to win games.
Now you're getting into an area that kind of jazzes me, and we're going to get into some fun questions, but I'm going to just springboard off of that. It almost sounds like you're setting goals. I mean, goal setting. So results can happen in your lives when you just write it down. Anybody ever write something down, like something you wanted? And if you haven't, get a pen, get a piece of paper, and I dare you to write 5 things down that you want in a month, in 6 months, in a year, in 5 years, in 10 years. And focus on those things. It'll give your life meaning, believe it or not. It'll keep you out of trouble, believe it or not, because now you'll have things you're focused on. And then when you have behaviors away from basketball, away from the coaches, you'll start making decisions that are reflective of things you want in your life. I dare you to write stuff down. It's powerful. You could do great things. Boy, I wish I was 16, 17, 18 again. You guys have the world in front of you. Healthy young men, educated, mentored by great people. Whatever you want to be, any of you guys, you can be it. Believe it or not, I dare you to write it down. What do you want to be? A doctor, a lawyer, ice cream man? I don't know. Write it down. Write it down. Focus on it, and you will be able to achieve it. Who's the math wizard in here? Anybody? All right, I'm going to throw this question. This question is for any of you that want to answer this. Which would you rather have? $1 million today, or 1 cent doubled every 30 days? What would you rather have if you had a chance? Right now, you got 10 seconds to answer that for me.
For 30 days?
For 30 days.
I've seen videos, probably the second one.
That's the right answer. It's a banker's son right there. You'd be proud of him, Jeff. Nice job. Right there. So, do you know how much of this is compounding interest? And if you don't know about compounding interest, learn about compounding interest. Einstein has said it was the best thing, and his best discovery of all time was compounding interest. Guess how much that penny is worth? If I give you a penny today and you doubled it 30 times in a row, guess what it'd be worth? In 30 days.
My guess.
Guess.
15 mil.
Anybody else want to guess? $5,368,709.92. If you double a penny for 30 days. That seems amazing, doesn't it? So there you go. Right out of the chute. Nice job, Preston. He's all over that. Like a pack of dogs on a three-legged cat. He's got to get one of those out every time. Okay, H-Bot. Imagine you're the president and you need to have 3 people to assist you. Who would you pick in your 3-person cabinet to make sure that you're getting everything done that you want to get done? Who would you pick?
Number one, definitely be my dad. Keeps me in line. He'd make sure everything's going smooth. My mom picked me up. Something goes wrong. She's right there. Then I'm going to clump it together as my siblings. They'd be like, there's like something that needs to be like fun, or like you need time away from something. Like that would be their spot. Like they'd take care of make sure I'm having a good time, like while I'm doing it, I guess.
Well, it sounds like you have a pretty good family. You trust them that much to make sure you're going to get accomplished what you need to get accomplished. That's a great answer. Family's going to be proud of that answer right there. Let's go down here. Let me see. If you could change anything in the world, what 3 things would it be and why? If you could change anything, you don't even have to pick 3. Let's just go with 1 or 2. So just general. Like if you could change something, you could walk out of here and say, I hereby decry this, and this is the way it's going to be. What would you change?
I would shorten the school day.
How would you learn?
We'd find a way by ourselves.
Well, there you go. Not a bad answer. That's the honest answer right there. Anybody else want to answer? Anybody else have something burning that they'd change? Preston.
If you could add something,
Yeah.
add a 4-point line in basketball.
Ooh, add a 4-point line in basketball. You see, I like how this kid thinks, right? That's good. That's good. Have you seen a 4-point line?
They threw it out, I think it was the NBA All-Star game or whatever league they had with that before. So it's not out of the question.
You described to me, Coach, an alternate scoring method once. What was that about? Refresh my memory.
Well, I mean,
think
it's
I
probably
stuffed
wouldn't
that
be
way
my
down.
first one, but if it's basketball related,
Yeah,
what was the
basketball
big
related.
change?
Yeah.
I would say every game should end with an Elam ending rather than the current method that we do right now.
Oh, yeah, so talk to me about that, because you told me that once, and then I never brought that out again. So, like, a game should end how?
Sure. All right, so if the WI is listening, what am I telling them?
Yeah, what are you telling them? So, you get to answer the question,
Yeah.
Coach.
So I would take games and I'd make them each have 2 minutes shorter. And then at the end of when the clock expires, you set a target score. So that might be 7 points ahead of. So let's say at the end of the game, it's 60 to 55.
Yeah.
So first team, then you put 7 points ahead of the next one. First team to 67 wins. Then you eliminate all this foul game, all this stall game, anything else at the end of the game. There's no chance but to go out and try to score and try to do things. So if you lose by 5 at the end of regulation, you don't have to outscore the other team you have to get to 12 before they get to 7. You always would have a walk-off, right? Everyone loves walk-offs in baseball, walk-off kicks in football. You would always have a walk-off every single basketball game.
Right.
And then you don't have to worry about the clock, foul situation, all those extra things.
We're going to implement that right after the shot clock. No, I don't know about that either. Or not. You a shot clock fan or not?
Well, we're going to have 2 games of shot clock this year. It'll be our
yeah.
first 2 when we head over to Minnesota because that's in. So we will have 2 that'll be our first in our program's history. And so, yes, if you're asking me, yes, I'm a fan of it. But we'll see how it plays out this year.
Yeah. Preston, what makes your family amazing? Yeah, what makes them unique?
I would say my dad. My dad just like sets all the ground rules. My mom puts forward them on my family, but my dad like sets them. And then it's unique. Everybody knows why. I got 5 brothers.
That's amazing.
And then one sister, obviously. But
how many brawls are there with 5 brothers? Is it pretty common?
There used to be so many. Like when we were in elementary school, somebody would come upstairs. And one time I went downstairs with a broken arm, me and Zach. In middle school, we'd always fight over Xbox remotes.
Sure.
So there's just a lot.
Did your dad take those away then and hide those in a spot where you never got them again, or not?
Not for me. My little brother Vaughn, he always got his iPad taken away. Mainly just now.
That's good. This is for HBOT. What do you think? What do you feel is the most important thing to live in a great life? What do you think? So you're 18. So you're the 18. You're an adult. Believe it or not, you're an adult. There's a lot of responsibility that comes with being an adult. So yeah. What do you think in your 18 years? You probably have only been thinking about this for 2. I mean, what do you think is the most important thing to live in a good life?
I'd say being able to like work hard. Like you said, setting goals for yourself, having something you want to reach for, and then going through with that. I feel like waking up every day, like knowing you have something to accomplish, I feel like that's going to lead to a better life. You're going to be more productive during the days, more productive. Your life's going to be cleaner, more like, I don't know, cleaner, I guess. Like, it's just going to go by, like.
Less drama.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Less drama.
Yeah, just working hard, having something to work for every day.
So I'm going to impart something on you that I didn't learn until later in life. So I think about people define happiness. Like what is the definition of a happy life, and where does that foundation for happiness start? So I'm going to impart this on you guys. A clear conscience is the foundation for happiness. So if you're not looking over your shoulder, if you're not trying to remember what lies you told, if you're not gossiping, if you're not cheating, when you can live a life with a clear conscience, that is the foundation for happiness. It allows you to do so many other things in your life without having to worry. So I don't know if you're going to absorb that or not, but a clear conscience, believe it or not, is more important than money, more important than anything. It'll be the foundation for a good life. So, and I didn't figure that out. I'm still figuring everything out, but so there you go. Oh, jeez. There's a Kevin Pearl. I'm not sure it was a pearl, but we're all trying to. I was talking to one of the parents earlier. It's like, yeah, we're still trying to figure stuff out. None of us got it figured out. Trust me. And you're gonna do everything right. I'm gonna impart one more thing on you, because I feel like I'm talking to my kids now. You guys are in a good spot. You got good families. You're doing everything right. Life's still gonna be hard. Believe it or not. You're going to get through school. You're going to be a successful athlete. And life's still hard. There's curveballs along the way. So remember this. Always have hope for a better tomorrow and learn from your mistakes. So I won't get too much deeper into that. When someone's feeling stressed, who wants this one? Anybody can take this one. When someone's feeling stressed around you, what are 3 suggestions you'd share with them on how to feel less stressed? You're stressed out, so...
Well, I'd say first...
Here's our philosopher.
I'd say first take a deep breath, because everything is easier when you're calmer. Then I'd say address the problem at its source. Just go straight and confront it and get it out of there.
That's an adult behavior right there. Keep going.
And then I guess try and fix the problem the best way you know how. It might not be the right way, but if you try your hardest, probably can get it done.
Very good. I think that's a good philosophical. You can clap for that. Applaud sign is on. How can you help somebody today? Who wants to take this one? How can you help somebody today, HBOT? How could you, without money, how could you help somebody today? This is part of the, what was the acronym?
EGB?
EGB. It's part of the EGB. What could you do to help somebody today?
I was just gonna say that
EGB.
somebody's down, make sure you're there picking them up. Like even if you're not the most talkative, like even just a smack, like missed a shot, oh well, smack like on the back, like pat them on the back, let them know you're here. Let them know it's not just them. Like everyone's gonna miss shots, not even basketball related, but like stuff's gonna happen. Just let people know you're there for them.
Very good. Preston's got added on that.
Yeah.
Look at this.
You see somebody's down, just ask how their day was. Ask what's wrong. It starts by, like, sometimes they won't, a lot of the time people won't tell you, but it starts by just asking people what's wrong and, like, knowing that you're there for them.
All right. That's good. And if you guys are able to do that amongst yourself, I know just having girls and boys and being a boy, I think we're less good at that than your counterparts and the girls. They have friends, they can go talk. You'll have 350 people in your contact list, and you have to talk to somebody, you have nobody to call. So make sure you open yourselves up and you find that person or two who you can confide in and they want to hear from you, and give yourself up, like Preston said, and be there for that person. And even if it takes an hour, be there for that person, because you're all going to need somebody at some point in time. That's good, Preston. Well, hey, Preston, let's keep you going here. What's your greatest strength and your greatest weakness? If you just want to pick one, go ahead. Let's go with greatest strength first.
Greatest strength, I would say my work ethic, because I don't know, I just love to work. I feel like when I'm lazy, it just ruins my day when I'm lazy. And then my weakness, in things that I like focusing, but like sometimes, like in math class, I'll lose focus. I sit right next to Hayden. Sometimes we'll start talking about basketball. Yeah,
did you get that? I used to get that in my report card. Talks too much. Is that you?
Yeah, in Turpin's class especially, we'll start talking about a basketball play, and then the whole thing's just, we're out of focus. It's probably not good, but
it makes homework a little more difficult.
Yeah.
So, you guys using YouTube tutors to learn stuff or not in math class? Not too much. I would have loved that back in the day, like foiling. I could have went home and I could have watched that 50 times to figure it out instead of listening to Mr. Lambert, who I never got it. Never got it. Hey, if you had no physical, financial, or other obstacles, what skill would you like to have? Go ahead. What skill would you like to have if nothing was an obstacle? What would you like to? Well, you want to go? You look like you have something on the tip of your tongue, Joey.
What skill? I'd probably say just like, I don't know if it's a skill, but just like freedom in general. Feeling like I could don't be reckless, but like do whatever I wanted to do.
Where would you like to live if you could live anywhere?
Greece.
Why?
I like the city. I've seen pictures. It looks cool.
There you go. You never know. Put it on your list. Write it down. You'll probably be going to Greece. What makes a good friend? Anybody can take that. H-Bot, you got something on tip. Joey's got it again. What makes a good friend? What makes a good friend, Joey? I
think someone that just every day shows you that they care about you. And we keep going back to EGBs, but a good friend, EGBs every single day, shows you that they're there for you and that they care for you.
Mm-hmm. So when things don't go right, another little piece of Kevin advice, someone torques you off, teacher does something, girlfriend does something, whatever. I have what I call the 24-hour rule. Don't react. Give it 24 hours. A lot changes in 24 hours. You get some sleep, you get some food, you get to bounce that situation off a person or two, and then confront that person directly, like you said. 24-hour rule works rather than react quickly. If you can take that away too. 24-hour rule. It's a pretty good one. So how many of you watch the broadcasts? This is a self-interest question. Oh, yeah. Anybody watch?
I love the broadcast.
Okay, so I have more of blank, less of blank. So what would you like to see more of in the broadcasts? Or you go, don't ever do that again because it's stupid, it's embarrassing, you're making a fool of yourself.
I'd like to see more of those like lines you have. Like you said it earlier.
The one-liners?
Yeah, the one-liner.
Yeah, so it's good to know that because the guys in the booth, I have like bruised ribs on this side because I get a lot of it. Like, stop. Anyway, so that's good to hear. I was watching a little Gus Johnson yesterday again on I think it was a Michigan game, a Ohio State game. Yeah, he had one-liner after one-liner. So
I like that Mountain Dew one you have.
All jacked up on a case of Mountain Dew. See guys come out of their eyes as big as softballs. Woo! It's good. Try to make it fun. So that's good. That's good. So less of what? Anything like don't stop doing that or? You can be honest. So I saw the hockey people. They were taking some of their content from the game last night and throwing it up on Twitter. So they were taking some of the shorts and tweeting them out, some of the goals. They had check of the game, even if it wasn't against the other team. They checked their own guy. So I don't know. That's for the high school kids. You guys know about all that stuff. I know about it, but I don't know what's good, what's bad. But maybe you can find somebody at home who can do that, a brother or sister, play with it, have some fun. So you could spread the stuff all over the place if you get the right channels. How many Twitter followers? How many? What else you on? Twitter, Snap.
Twitter,
what else?
Instagram.
Insta. How many? Who's got the most? Who's the big guy here?
Probably Joe.
Definitely
Joey,
Not
what do you
sure.
got? You TikToking or not?
No, I'm not TikToking.
No. So how about on Instagram? 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 100,000?
Like 1,000.
That's not bad. That's good. You guys hanging around him at all? Are 1,000 people close or not?
I wouldn't say I'm really trying to,
Uh-huh.
but probably pretty close.
How many does your brother have? Zach.
Oh, he's definitely got like at least 2,000, 3,000.
Oh, yeah, there
He's
you
popular.
go. What's he doing tonight?
Probably watching this. He's probably sitting at home with his Culvers he just got.
There you go. That was the wrong answer. It's your first wrong answer tonight. Not a bad one, though. It's funny. You learn anything from your brother, Zach?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, just watching him play in high school, like, seeing the way he created his shot, like, it's definitely fun to learn. Also, playing against him, it's just, he's, like, a really good player, obviously, so playing against him makes me better.
You guys have some pretty good battles out in the court.
He makes me frustrated sometimes.
Yeah.
He's obviously a lot better right now, but I'm trying to get to him. It's my goal.
So, is Joey the hardest worker on the team? What do you think?
That's what everybody says. I don't know.
You know, look at H-Bot's got something to say about that. I threw it out there just for some competition.
I'd say both of these two, like, they're neck and neck. They both work harder than anybody I've ever met. So I mean, it's both of them are right there. Can't really pick one or the other.
So, like free throws, how many do you shoot a day? Either of you guys shooting a lot a day? Shooting 100 a day?
Probably. I'd say I work more on like just athleticism and ball handling. Joe's more like I always see him shooting on the gun, and he never misses. So he more works on the shooting part, but obviously he's in the weight room and stuff too.
Make 100 in a row? Free throws often or not?
You could.
Practice?
I have before, but
How about with a tie game with .3 on the clock? How big does that rim get?
pretty big.
Oh, pretty big. I like it. That's a good answer. Good answer. So anything you guys, do you have any goals set for this season? Last year, again, middle of the pack in the Big Rivers Conference, tied for third place or tied for fourth, no matter how you look, depending on how you look at it. Hudson, in Memorial, they're going to be there. They're your teams to beat again this year. Talk to us a little about, either of you guys or all three of you can talk a little bit about the upcoming season and where you see yourselves come February.
What I think our first goal is winning conference, and then when the time comes to playoffs, I think we have the skill, we have the guys, we have like the connection. I think we can make a state run this year too.
Oh, I like that.
Yep.
Just threw it right out there. State run. So I hope that's what they call wall hanging material for the Hudson who's watching this tonight. Anybody else have any goals, aspirations for this season? How do you see this thing playing out?
Like he said, kind of us as a group, we talked before the season, and we definitely think that we can be successful in conference. And like he said, we can definitely make that state run, state push at the end. And Coach always talks about how whichever team can get in stride at the right time, and it all comes down to playing the best basketball at the end of the season. and playing good playoff basketball.
Good. Hayden, what are teams going to – where are they going to have trouble with River Falls this season? When they come into your gym, they're like they have no idea they're going to run into this. What are they going to run into?
I'd say our action. It's something that our program's kind of built around, not having like, oh, you have to go do this, have to do this. You have freedom throughout the offense. You don't really know what you're going to get. You can get a ball screen, you can get flares, just all this different action that we have. I feel like that makes us very dynamic and makes us a hard team to beat.
What's your best rivalry in conference? Is it the obvious Hudson? Or is there something else you think that's right up there? Go ahead.
I think first is Hudson, but these guys know this. I hate Memorial.
That's okay. That's okay.
I used to play with guys on their team, so I like them, obviously, but when it comes to basketball, I always want to beat them. Mm-hmm. And they just frustrate me watching them play, too. Watching them play last night and the night before.
Sure. Hayden's got something. Do you want to say something about your rival?
I was going to say Memorial and New Richmond,
Yeah.
those two, and then Hudson, obviously, but those are the other two right there with Hudson.
So Rice Lake graduated one of the Orr brothers. So now they'll only be rowing with one oar in the water up there in Rice Lake. That was a joke. That was for you, Kristen. Come on. Is this thing on? Check. So that'll be a little easier this year, potentially.
Yeah.
Potentially. He threw a cold bucket of water on you. Was that last year or the year before? I don't remember.
That was last year.
Oh, yeah. It seems like yesterday.
Revenge this year.
I kind of suppressed that, so I didn't think about it until I just said it. So revenge this year.
Yep.
So Rice Lake. Not probably high in the rivalry list, but pesky, right? Pesky. So you go down to lacrosse. You play this powerhouse lacrosse. You guys ready for that? What do you think, Joey?
They're a team that'll ball pressure us for sure. So we just got to be able to rein ourselves in, play with ball pressure, and slow ourselves down. And then I think we'll just be just fine.
Very good. So I did offer this to the audience. I said, hey, if you have anything you want to ask these guys, they maybe have been marinating over that. I don't know. Fred Barr's got one. Come up here, Fred. Okay. Here's the question, Fred Barr.
And you've seen pictures, Preston, of your father.
Yep.
Did he ever have better looking hair than you?
Yeah, you think you do, but you always talk about you used to have this flow going. So I'll say he had better hair back then.
Back in the day.
The 80s.
Back in the day. We need some pictures. So if we get pictures sometime this year, we'll get those up on the broadcast. If you can dig something out, get those to Coach. We'll back end that thing, and we'll just throw them up there and surprise him sometime.
I would like to say one thing, I guess. Coach Campbell, 11 years now?
Yeah.
And I think my son Sam played for you his first year on varsity with you.
Believe so.
And my son was fortunate enough to have two fantastic coaches in life, you and Coach Bishop. And what I saw you do with these young men when you came on board was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing, and what you continue to do. I had the opportunity to coach as well in the school district and through a variety of things, but seriously, what I've seen you do and how you build young men, it's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Wow. A little verklempt. Thanks, Fred. That's true. I mean, and again, River Falls, we're all very fortunate to live in this town. We're very fortunate to have our kids, your kids, playing in some of these sports here with these great coaches, great administration, building great young men and great young women so they can go on and have successful lives. And someday you guys will be sitting out there and your kids will be here. And you'll laugh at that. I'm telling you, it ain't that far away. It goes so quick. Jeff and I think are the same age. It doesn't seem like that long ago that we were that age. It seems like literally yesterday. So it all goes fast. Take it all in. Enjoy your times together. Trust each other. Be good to each other. Have the most darn fun you can have playing basketball because it's fleeting. You guys will be having senior night. We'll be here. We'll be like, remember we did that coach's show? It seems like last week. So enjoy the heck out of every practice. Enjoy the heck out of each other. Enjoy the heck out of every game. make good decisions, set goals, be good to each other, thank your parents. And, Coach, you got anything to put a big red, put a little whipped cream on top of this thing and maybe a cherry?
No, I guess, yeah. In terms of these guys, I mean, they talk goals. And us as a coaching staff, there's so much about goals, but it's about the daily process. And I know people get to just tune in at home and see these things, but what they don't get is basically they've given up their entire second half of their Sunday to be able to not only do this, but to practice. And these three are all in early, getting extra shots up before. They'll roll out tomorrow morning, and we've got weights at 6:30 a.m. Then they'll have a full day of school, what they're here for first, and then we'll have a 2-hour practice, and then they'll have an hour and a half of their third and fourth graders doing skills. Like, there's just so much behind the scenes that goes into to the memory piece or the lasting times, what Fred just talked about, that is not just, well, we just get to play because we get to play, but the work that goes into it. And then and for you too, Kevin, I know you talk about these guys a lot, but everything that you do to this information that gets all to our, when I was in high school, college, never would even thought about this being a thing, but that my family can not travel to lacrosse on Thursday night, and my brother who lives in California can tune in whenever he wants.
You can thank Jeff for that because he's going Thursday.
Well, there's so many the people that it goes into.
Right.
Like, this is just phenomenal, and you talked about our community, and this is what makes it special. From a person that's not originally from River Falls, we love that we're raising our kids here and are extremely fortunate. There's ups and there's downs with everything in life, but we're really, really fortunate to have all these things that we have. So thank you.
Yeah. Yes, that's good. I said this at the end of the football broadcast too, and you guys don't understand this either, but it used to, I think this YouTube has created another layer of people living vicariously through you. I mean, it used to be your teammates and your parents and your friends at school sometimes can live vicariously through your successes. I think we've created a whole nother layer of community awareness. Fred will have it on down here. People are sitting here watching you guys. They know you by name. When you guys win, they feel good about themselves. So there's a whole bunch of community pride that you're carrying on your shoulders that you don't have to worry about, because I know you're good young men and you'll do the best you can. But yeah, this has created a whole nother level of awareness and people living vicariously through your program and feeling the pride that you bring to River Falls, believe it or not. So I don't want to put a lot of pressure on you, but it's true. There are people living vicariously through you, including myself sometimes. It reminds me of my childhood and my high school days and college days. So it's fun. It's fun to see you guys have your life in front of you. It's so wonderful. And you've grasped it. You've got good mentors, great coaches. And I think we put a big red bow around this thing. And we call it good. You guys have been great sports tonight. I'm all jacked up for this when I case a Mountain Dew for the season. How about that? Let's go. Thanks to head coach Zach Campbell, Preston Johnson, Hayden Bottleson, and Mr. Joey Butts here on the end. Put your hands together one more time for this great crew. And let's do this thing. River Falls Wildcat basketball 2023-2024. Let's get it on. Let's go. Thanks, Fred Barr. Thanks, Chris Larson, for helping out again tonight. You guys have been champs. Thank you. And everybody have a great night and have a great week. See you Thursday night online. Jeff Johnson bringing you the action. Probably Lori as well. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks for doing this. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Thanks, Joey. Great job. Yeah.